All right, so my last attempt. What is that? Okay, that doesn't look good. Anyway, my last attempt at a different map didn't work because the power went out, so yippee. But we are going to try out this map. So I already know what this does. This is infinite or pretty much endless power, but it's at like 400. And oh, I didn't notice that down here. So let's take a look at the map really quick. Okay, so it looks pretty good. I just don't know how you get these up. You might have to just increase the overall surrounding area and then it might go up. I'm not fully sure. Is that what I... Oh, there's thorns in there. Okay, interesting. And this is honestly horrible. The drains, which comes out during bad water. Yeah, those are horrible. And looking at it now, the fact it comes out means that could affect us greatly. So we're going to have to block that off eventually. And is that another? Okay, so that's another bad water seep. Those unstable cores are horrible, so I know what those do. And we're going to have to block that off eventually too, because that thing sucks. So we have a bunch of problems around us that I am not looking forward to. That is going to be a problem. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I know it's going to flow upward, so I need to do something about that eventually. So get down there and clog it up. So this looks pretty cool. That does not look cool. So that's a very... this map looks great, but then it looks absolutely horrible in some areas too, like this right here. So, oh boy, we have a lot in stored. All right, so we kind of have a little setup here. I don't know why we have a food issue since we had a farm almost immediately. It could be, no, it couldn't be the berries because this is roughly around the same size. So I don't know what that's about, but we can at least get this generator going since we barely have enough. It's bad. Anyway, let's see here. Maybe we can plan ahead here. Oh, we definitely can. So maybe 3 here. I mean, yeah, that's best we're getting is 3 right here. I'm trying to think of like a setup that would work, but it's a little weird how everything is here. So I'm like this would look really nice, but I do want to get more here, and I don't. Well, actually, wait, no. Wait, do this. Wait, no, wait. Hear me out. Hear me out, and do it like this, and then we do something like that, and then we can put one of these bad boys. Yeah, all right. I'm an engineer. Anyway, let's get that started, and we can also start the pathway down here to get this wood, which is pretty good, I think. So, yeah, this would work. It's just that future-wise, we're gonna have a problem here, so I might as well just do it here. Oh, I don't have enough science points, and my voice cracked a little bit, so I'm gonna get some tea. So, everything is going pretty good. So, we're just going to try to build up our wood supply. We're going to try to expand our housing. I kind of started the top, and it's going to be a little weird. Actually, no, I don't even need to do it this way. I could just do it the other way. What am I doing? I'm making some goober moves here. And, yeah, we could just do it this way, because there's nothing going to happen between this nice little alleyway, unless someone gets jumped over here in a, British mugging or whatever, mugging. And, anyway... I don't know if I can say that word. I think yeah, I said it right. Anyway, so for some reason I didn't have this area cut, so we're going to work on that. I did add some berry bushes down here, so that's pretty good too. Now, I don't know why I didn't do that. Can we demolish it? Oh, it's too far. Never mind. We're just going to leave it there as a nice little, I don't know, actually. I think they wanted me to get this pretty quickly because something bad is going to happen soon, so I'm going to assume that's the case. And what is this about? Oh. I'm going to assume then that means that this activates soon too, is what I'm going to roughly assume. So, good thing we're trying to build up our population and our wood supply, because that's going to be a problem I'm going to deal with right away. Alright, so we managed to block this off, which is good, so we won't have to worry about that anytime soon. Ooh, I didn't know that existed, and I should maybe block that off too, but I do not know how to get these water pressures up, so I'm going to, with limited pressure, I'm going to figure that out eventually one day. Just don't know when. But I am going to make a move over here to get rid of these, because this is going to be quite a hassle, and I'm going to get rid of resources over here, and we're going to get things up and running, because, yeah, I do not want to deal with that. So... I think I'm just gonna have to build a giant box around it, because that seems like the only way to go about this. And Yeah, so we're gonna have to build it like up and around. We could build it up over here, and we got this. Well, 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 look what is going to be unstable. It's predictable. I love it. I knew there was going to be trouble somewhere, so we're getting that out of the way. And this is going to make some good progress over here. I realized you could put a platform to kind of cover up this, so we are going to do the same thing over here eventually, but one problem at a time, because I just realized that is also going to be a problem. Same with this up here. So yeah, I think my full goal is to cover this because they wanted to be stinky. Or I might have to just... Actually, no, I could just block it over on this way. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, this should be an easy fix. So I wanted to more focus stuff at home since, the more people we have, the better. But, that didn't really go out as planned. So we aren't doing that right now. But I am going to start getting ready for the next fix. And my voice is cracking a little bit. And I don't know what's going on, and I do not like it. So, yeah, that's fun. So, we're going to also try to make our way up over here and fix this little rat issue, which is going to be also a really great time. Yeah, I hate these things. They put so much... they enjoy doing this to us, I gotta say. Like, there's no way someone enjoys this pain that you're gonna have to block off so much just to enjoy a map. Like, some person is sadistic for this. Okay, well, I was wrong. There is more, and that is over here. So at least, where is that gonna go, actually? Where? Okay, it's gonna go into here. Okay, never mind. So we are fine over this way, I think, unless there's something I don't know. Then that's going to be interesting. But I do want to also check out the bad water underneath here. What's going on down here? Oh, I see. Okay, that's not too bad. So we're not doing too good on the food side. We're going to try to increase it. I did add another little farm down over here, or expanded the farm, I should say. And we are going to add some more over here too, but we need to first get to that point since we've been having some issues trying to keep ourselves up and about. But at least we need to expand, and that's a good thing. So I do have a mess of a thing over here, so we'll work on that. And I think I do need to create another water source just to kind of keep up with ourselves, because we just have so much going on here. And I've just been focusing on, disaster prevention is pretty much my main case here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And why aren't they building that up, actually? That's a interesting one. They're like working everywhere but there, so that's great. Well, we can at least do that, and we can get our carrots up and running so they can build the stairs for some reason. I don't know why they're not building the stairs, but at least we're getting that up and running, so we're good. And we do have a drought approaching, which is problematic, but we're not going to be taking any of this water, so it should be fine for a good while. And okay, perfect. So we're going to try to cut down these trees on the side, and then we can we can trim the trees. Actually, we're going to trim them so we can at least have some pine left over, and we can utilize that. I think that would be a really good move. Now we still need to work on this project up there, which for some reason they're not really working much on, and hopefully we don't have any starvation issues. All right, so I think we're making some good progress here. So we are going to be blocking this off, and I expect this to blow up, and I expect this to be done relatively soon. And oh no, I would have liked to use that. Is that going to oh, it is going to blow up that. Oh, what a shame. I guess you're really supposed to be pushing out over this way relatively around this time too, which is interesting. I don't know if I could. Maybe I could. No, I'm not going to try it. It would be a nice attempt, but I'm not going to do it. All of this is going to die, which would have been really nice, but we can always reclaim the water and then kind of reintroduce growth here. But yeah, I think the best point of going about this would be getting rid of this entirely, but can't really do that because we're more focused on at-home stuff over here. Our food supply is doing good, though. I'm pretty happy with that. Our science, though, we're getting there. Yeah, that's all I can say on that one. But we're also going to be working on this project over here, and we're actually almost done with this over here, too. So we're going to put a little bit more focus on that, and then once that is done, huzzah. And then we have to worry about this. So Yeah, and I haven't seen Mad Water in a while, so it's really letting us kind of work on it. And I would like to keep these trees. So I think our next project would have to be going up over here and taking this out, focusing more on at-home issues than, abroad. So I think this is going to be my next project once I'm done with that. And we're going to kind of do our best here. So one thing I've been kind of putting on to the side was pretty much the water situation. So I want to start kind of fixing up and working more at home since we've been mainly focusing on disaster prevention here with our last attempt being this over here, which I think is a really good idea. And then once this is done, we can start fully working on stuff at home. Since we have a lot of beavers at home, our water situation is the only thing that I'm worried about, because food, we're pretty good. We have this right here. I think we can easily survive and not really worry about, since we do have a bunch of carrots in reserve up here. So I'm pretty happy with that outcome. So let's start working on our industry. So pretty much what we want to do is focus on how am I going to do this? Because we need, wait, yeah, we need gears to get this. And we can't really do that. But I mean, honestly, what we could just do is, let's see here. I wanted it to kind of go up and around. So we can do, yeah, do something like this. Oh, wrong thing. What was I gonna do? All right, so it was gonna be something like this. We have it kind of go out in the back. We have that there, so we have 2 gears and 4 planks, which is pretty good. And then we can kind of slap it. No, because I was gonna put it in the back. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. I could just do that. And temporarily we can put this here, right? Yes, we can put that there for. Oh, actually, no, we don't. We don't even need this down here. What am I doing? Get those guys out of there. Go. Shoo. And what we can do is kind of put a temporary power output to here. And we'll get to this eventually. It's just that I'd rather just do this. And we can start working on that. And then we'll have some gears. Now, we do have a drought. I don't think it's going to be too bad. Maybe. And we can start working on... we can start working on the paper mill too. I think that would also be pretty good to start on. So we'll do something like that. And we have our pretty much wood system that we pretty much need. And we'll stick with this for now. Once we get a little bit of gears, we can start working on this over here, move it up, and then that should be good overall. Because I don't think we need anything too crazy, especially if we have small builds. And we don't really have much water to work with, so I'm not going to do much. And honestly, this ground is fine. I'm not really too worried about it. And I could blow this up and we could get a nice water reserve. But I do want to get this up. I don't know how to work on that. So I think we're making some good progress over here. I want to get this, the relic. And that would give us 3,000 science points. And you know what? I just wanted to get it out of the way because this is just evil. Whoever decided to do that is just a menace. So yeah, we're gonna go make a move on that. And then also on top of that, we're making some good pushes down here. We finally have our power up and we are now starting to make some treated planks so we can start expanding our water stores, which is going to be roughly kind of a decent time to do so since we're kind of not too good on this right now. So we're going to try to work on that. And I doubt we're going to get this up in time, but we could, maybe there's a hope. Actually, there is a hope because we actually have enough gears. We have all the resources for it except for this, but that doesn't matter. We are also making I guess you could say a pipeline, or at least a power line to the other parts so we can get pretty much 800 flat, and that would really help our overall power management over this way. So that's going to be really nice. Hopefully we can get this up and running though whenever we get to it. I'm actually going to put more emphasis on that, but I doubt we'll make it in time. But it shouldn't be too bad kind of surviving this. Anyway, I think my next goal is going to be metal output, and we can start doing some fun builds with that, making bridges and doing all that jazz. And then we can even make a mechanical fluid pump, because that is the only way to kind of get something continuous going. So that's going to be fun, and we need metal. So yeah, we're gonna learn that, but more importantly, I'm going to learn large wind turbine because that is something I also need. But honestly, I don't know why I'm worried. We are literally almost done getting this, so yeah. All right, so kind of perfect timing on this. This is almost done, and yeah, I see this bomb. 11 days. Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna make it so you can explode in peace. Don't worry. I'm making sure of that right now. Come on, finish it. 99, perfect. And that is 3,000. All right, so I already kind of started this. I already got most of this. So what we're gonna do is place some of that, and we're gonna get started. So I did get this up and running, so we are gonna get a bunch of water now, which I'm happy about, and we are now going to start our metal production. So that's also really cool. So I'm gonna do something like that, and since we have bad water nearby, we could start explosives since we also have pretty much everything we need for that. Kind of funny how that works out. And okay, so we can pretty much put everything close by then, because we can also put explosives, the explosive factory close by, literally right about here, and that is good too. And then pretty much power generation, we can easily get that set up like so. And I think we only need 4 windmills. I think that might be the best way to go about this, maybe. And let's just do something like this. And that should be pretty good for me, at least. And this is going to take a while, and that's fine. But at least we're going to have it up and running. And I should maybe set up some storage units for this. There we go. So we can get just scrap and then normal metal right about here. So that's going to create a lot of things for us. And that's going to create bombs and metal. So that's pretty good. So let me also set this up for the bad water. I'm going to actually put it up over here so they can take from it. And bad water, there we go. And then we can also set up the explosives right about here. And we don't need much. Is something like this would definitely be fine. So they're going to be busy with this for a while. And that's good. So we're going to also set that up so we can get a paper generation going. And other than that, we should be good. Let's actually put a focus on this so we can actually do all this without any issues at all. And then we should be good, I think. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to destroy this because it doesn't look too good to me. And other than that, I guess we're going to have to be chilling for a while. Well, that is not good. A bad water tide. So we are pretty much set and secured up here. That's going to be interesting, but it is going to be quick, so I don't think it's going to be that bad. Now, over here, it might be a little weird. So what we could do is... Oh, wait, I didn't release... That video was taken... okay, never mind. Is build something like this, and that is pretty much secluding it, and then whenever bad water is done coming out, we can open it back up. So, yeah, that's going to be our plan. And it's quite interesting. Yeah, like you could easily do something like this and then the problem is solved. So I'm going to do this with multiple things like over here, but we're going to have to get rid of the bushes over there. So yeah, eventually we'll get to that point, but we have so much going on right now. That's why it's going to be a little problematic right now trying to get all this set up. But hopefully we can get something done, and hopefully they focus on this stuff because I told them to focus on that, and it's not really doing too much there. Okay, so just a quick jump in since it's been a good bit. We are getting metal. We are starting to work on some of this over here, I think. What? No, okay, they're not. So I think they're starting to finally work on this, which is good because I think we cleaned out a good bit of the bad water and we should be fine. Now, I do have a concern with this, so I am... Wow, that is a massive bomb. Okay, we will eventually work on that once it's done exploding because I'm glad I didn't work on this sooner. So once this is done exploding, we will try to block that up since that looks like it's going to be a problem, especially long term. So yeah, I'm going to have a good long time with that one. And at least we got the main stuff out of the way, which is good. And I think that's something you should definitely focus on here. And now that we're here, wait for this to blow up and we'll start blocking it off. Now, I do want to clear up some of this so we can start, you know, kind of blocking it off and whatever the nuts that's all about, so we don't have to worry about it. And you can see this worked fully because, you know, there's water in there and we can't really do much with it. So once we're done with the main source back here, we're going to do another one with it over here, and we should be fine, I think. Yeah. And other than that, there's not really much we can do until we get everything kind of blocked off. And once I have a little bit more control and all these buildings are done, we can start focusing on trying to expand our clean water. And then once we do that, we can start really taking control, because we have been so limited, especially with our wood, our food, and all that. So I'm going to hopefully try to fix that. I mean, we could actually fix that over here with another forester, but it is pretty far away, so I don't think it would be worth it. Alright, so this is something that's pretty nice, and I decided to actually take advantage of this. We're going to keep this and prioritize by haulers, so we can keep that always going. And this is going to be a massive tree farm. So this is now all green, and now we just kind of need to just fill it in, which is, I think, pretty good. And I'm going to take away this, and we're going to put it right back in so we can get some jobs where they need to be. And I am going to expand my housing up a good bit over here. I've been pretty good at learning how to properly stack on top of homes, and I think I'm doing pretty good in this aspect so far. And of course, things could change, but looks good to me so far, so I'm happy with that. Now we do have to dilute our water a little bit over in that area, and once that is done, we can start working on over here. But that's going to be a little tricky with all the thorns, so we're going to have to make an attempt to clean all that. Yeah, that's going to be my attempt. So could I just do this? No, I can't. I have to like do it manually, I think. That's annoying. Well, oh well. And once we have all this cleared, we can start kind of pretty much... Oh, my friend's on. Okay, nice. Didn't expect them to be on and actually show themselves, so that's interesting. But anywho, we are going to try to fix this, and that's going to be fine for us. And I do want to do the same thing for over here, and then, you know, kind of take it back. So, oh, and the drought has started. I didn't even know there was a drought, to be honest with you. I was just more focused on other things. So we're going to take back this. We have about 6 days. I do have this kind of cleared up, and that actually would be a good time to clear up our, you know, lack or dirty water in here, and that also would give us time to work on this, which, by the way, is mainly all oak. So our wood would pop off in about, well, whenever they get this done. So yippee. I might even need another forester, and that's why I kind of filled this in just in case I need to, which is going to be interesting. But other than that, we're going to be focusing on building for a while, so we most likely won't cut back in for a good bit, but not unless something bad happens, which is going to mainly be the case. Nothing is going to happen. Alright, so I said I was going to cut back in once things, like if something bad happened. That's a lie. We got our first project done, and that was pretty much starting to fill up our waterway. So that's going to help increase our overall water in this area, which is pretty good. And we do have a water crisis, which we are going to fix eventually. And it seems like one beaver is unwell, which is a shame, but you know, sometimes people will have to die for others. And what's going on here? We're going to just hold that up for a second. We're going to try to fill this up and see how that's going. But over here is going pretty well too. And we're going to try to get this up and running so we can get them going a little faster and hopefully get our wood supply up and running. So now that we have this up, we're going to do about 70%. Would it still go up, or would it actually fall off? I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. And we can also see how it's kind of... Oh, okay. I like that. I really do. And then we could block it off down here, and that would allow us to kind of keep the water like kind of underneath, which would be pretty cool. And that would pretty much keep it as it is if we can kind of block this off, or maybe even kind of have it build up. That would be pretty nice too. And then it, just in case it could overflow, but we're not going to really focus on that part. And I think I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to try kind of making like a semi-dam system here. And then, of course, we're going to demolish this. I don't know. Could we just do it? No. Okay, no, we cannot. And excuse that sound. And, okay, so yeah, we're going to try to do it. Yeah, I don't have any promises, but it's going to be a worthy attempt. So, gonna do that, and then I do want to build that dam system. So thanks to our science, which is now not running, thank you for that, we're going to try to make some bigger dams in this area to help with water control. So I might even put another one of those water pumps down here to focus on like an extra water reserve. That'd be pretty cool to do, but let's try to at least first get ourselves a bit more situated here. And something like this sounds pretty good. And that's pretty much up to where I want it to be. And I'll do that. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. And did I just ask? Nope, we got it. Perfect. And we'll do that. And bridges. I do want to get the bridge so we can easily build. And we need one more. There we go. No, wait. No, wait. There we go. Wait, no, that's not it. We need the other one, the longer one. Yeah. Wait, not enough science points? No. Now, we have another drought, which is fine. We kind of prepared for this, and it seems like... Okay, so this project is going on pretty well over here. We had a bunch of trees, and we still have a bunch of trees, but we just need some beavers to kind of go and do their jobs now, which we should be able to do. We do have a bunch of injured beavers from, you know, this little escapade, which I'm not going to do again for a while, but at least... we have, well, at least the manpower, the food, the water, and all that. So once this is done, this is going to go out pretty well. And it seems like this is going to happen, not going to happen for a while, it seems like, because we're still 50, some of them are 76, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of changes anytime soon here. So we're going to actually let them kind of go and do their own thing while we kind of focus on other things on the side. So we can focus on maybe like a little bit more building, but right now we should just focus on trying to stay alive here. And yeah, I'm definitely going to put a fluid dump here. Gonna dump it in here so we can kind of have a continuous flow of water. Then again, we do have a continuous flow of water, it's just I want more. And I think what I might try to do is make an effort to go down here, or actually no, over here, and block off this bad water so we don't have that issue. And then also I'm gonna try to do something crazy here, build another dam, and then we can use that dam water to push it back up over here and introduce kind of like a greener area, and that would be pretty cool. So that is going to be my attempt, and we're just going to kind of structure it out. It's going to be a while before this project gets done as well. And would this be fine? Just kind of double checking here. So if we put it like right about here, yeah, we should be fine if we do something like this. And yeah, that looks good to me. Yeah, honestly, that looks pretty solid. And if we just do something like that, it's going to be kind of simple. And I'm going to kind of try to increase the pressure here too by kind of just blocking off the side. And we're going to have that as kind of an extra side project. So, of course, we're going to have to block off the bad water so we can fully utilize this. And that's going to be kind of something I'm going to set up right now. Alright, so I'm curious on how this is going to turn out, and it looks like it's turning out as expected. Now, what's going to fully happen here? It seems like it's just building up, and is it building up over here? It is. And, okay, and it has peaked. So, I'm okay with this. I'm kind of figured this would happen. We're going to try to get something like this going. Not bad, though. That's a really nice green area that I'm not going to really mess with. But pretty cool. You know, I like that. But it is going to start spilling over, though. So that is one of my biggest concerns. And I could just easily fix that by lowering this a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to empty it a little bit more. But this is also pretty cool because I knew that this was going to happen. So I'm not too concerned. Now, the only issue with this is the fact, well, there's an underground mine and we can have unlimited metal as much as we want, but the problem is though the peak area for it, which isn't too bad, it's not too far, is also a water zone as well. So this does look nice, but I'm gonna have to cut it off. So we're gonna try to block this off the best we can whenever we can, and then we're gonna try to make it work because I only did this as like a mini water reserve. And, you know, it's not too bad. Let's kind of raise it up a little bit more if we can. Can we? Wait, is it going anymore? Or is there actually a certain limit here? And it seems like we might have found the limit here. So we're gonna lower it. Okay, so 75 is the limit. Okay, so we're gonna try to fill that back up. Gonna also try to get this done, and we are also gonna try to get this demolition going too, so we can kind of drain out the water. Even though it does look nice, gonna have to drain it because we don't really need it, I should say. So, 210. Let's see here. I think 190 is good. We're just gonna try to. Okay, so it's filling back in, which is good. We're just gonna try to clear it up, try to find a nice in between point here. And then once that's done, I could even kind of blow up underneath it since we do have access to the underground. And that would be pretty nice. I could even kind of like block this off and then we have like water raising up over here. Make a giant dam area, or not dam, but like kind of hole and just extract water. That'd be pretty nice. But other than that, we should be good for now. Let's see, it's 1.90, so it's kind of okay, perfect. So we're kind of in a good point now with water spillage coming over there, and that's not going to be permanent, but I think we could make it permanent if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that so far. So yeah, right now just going to focus on our building, and yeah, I pretty much have all of this set up to kind of isolate this and introduce clean water again. Oh, that's not good. We have a bad water cycle, so that means we should most likely start dealing with some of this right now. Now, I was going to blow up most of this, so we're going to have to fix some of that, since that is not a good idea. And I was going to try to see if I could, elevate or de-elevate things, but yeah, not right now. We're going to focus on this, since I don't want my food supply and my only food supply, because this is honestly holding up my population right now, which is pretty decent. And of course I do want to expand upon it later, but right now I need to focus more on at-home stuff, so we're going to try to do that right now. So this should be our main priority, and that's going to get built pretty quickly looking at how our resources are doing. And oh my god, everything is full. Oh, I did not expect that, actually. That's a good thing, that is a really good thing, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, water. We need to increase our water. That is our number one priority, and I think that should be focused on right now. So I'll also get this up and running as a full thing, and hopefully we get to that point eventually. I'm gonna also turn this on so we can get that going. And also our paper is fine, actually, we don't really need to worry about it, but let's start focusing on some of the other stuff here. So I do have kind of like a water system going up in place over in the bottom area, so we're good on that, and we should start working on this. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do fully. I should maybe blow this up so we have a little bit maybe of a smoother place, because we can't really get rid of this the moment we do it. So I'm kind of unsure, but I think this is a guarantee. Blow up this right here, we can get another one eventually, but I think we just need something more substantial for now, and I don't know how I'm going to make this work since it's kind of blocked off. Wait a minute, couldn't I just put this? Oh yeah, never mind. I see what I can do now. Gonna do that. It's gonna cut down some things, which I know, but that's fine, and you can maybe hear my chair squeaking in pain. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, oh, yeah, okay, that's better. We can get some more planks going too. That's actually always good. And there we go. So we kind of have all that set up. So we would need to somehow get this connect. Oh, wait. Ooh, maybe I'll think of something. It's going to be a little complex, but we need to really focus on this right here, though. All right, so we should be good now. We're going to turn this up so I don't have to worry about it for a while. We're going to turn these off so we don't have to worry about it. And 7 days? I'm banking on 7. 1 day. Okay, interesting. 1 day. That's not too bad. Honestly, it could have been worse, but this should be done now. Perfect. So, bad tide is 1 day. That's doable. That's not bad at all. We're fine. We're cooking. And other than that, we should be good. Wait, does it not affect these? Oh, it does affect those. Okay, the moment I said that, we are starting to see some of the consequences. Same with over here. However, this... Oh. They're fine. They're good. They're gonna be fine. Wait, where's this coming from? Wait. Is there something I don't know? Wait. Is there... Wait, what? Oh. Oh, huh. I never knew that. Hmm. I I don't like that. I really do not like that. That is a really see like whenever I say whoever made these maps are evil, they're evil. Like that is just fiendish. Okay, at least at least we're fine. So we have a bunch of wood and we're gonna have a bunch of projects going. That is just straight up evil. That like I gotta give prompts, that is funny, but it's also super evil. So oh well. We'll get to that point eventually, but oh boy. I okay, at least it seems like it's going well down here, it seems like, and as you can see, I have my little system for whenever we get the clean water up and running, so huzzah. We're gonna see how this turns out. Now it should hopefully rise up, I'm hoping, and it is rising. Okay, so it does work if we lower the things. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that, and we do now have a better water reserve here. And, ooh, it looks like it's topping off a little bit better, too. So I'm pretty happy with that outcome. Now, I want to do the same thing over here. However, this one I'm a little bit more worried about, kind of blowing this up and allowing them to get down to this point. So I think what I'm going to do here is allow myself a little dam system so then we can have this water whole thing filled, and if we feel like it or if we need to, we can just release water into this place and then we should be good. Now that's the plan. Now things can always change, but we're gonna try to do this and hopefully nothing goes wrong, and if something goes wrong I'm gonna cry or maybe even pee myself a little bit, but we're gonna do something. And our food supply looks like it's starting to dwindle, so I'm gonna hope we can get our potato system here. Yes, I'm making potatoes. Oh my god. Well, actually, no, we're good here. We got a bunch of water. Hopefully, we can survive this. And hopefully, we can also get this up too. But we're still working on this massive project down here that we're almost done with. We just have 5 more blocks. And then we can really just be fine with all this and whatever the nuts that is. And then we don't have to worry about this. We can just raise this, and then we can just bring all the water over this way. All right, so we're gonna try to purify this. I don't think there's a leakage. Yeah, okay, so it's just bad water. So we're going to try to disperse it the best we can. So the best way to do that is by dumping it. And huzzah, we're gonna do it. And we're finally gonna get some more clean water. So of course, we're gonna try to break this up so we can get some more water movement, which is always a good sign. And hopefully it works out. Yeah, it's working so far. And okay, so yeah, it's not too bad. Hopefully one day we'll see some clean water, but right now we're just seeing bad water. And one day, well, I don't know. If bad water takes over, no, it wouldn't work like that. Because I thought I would see some clean water, but I I don't know if it's just me. Oh wait, I am starting to see some blue water actually. That's actually really nice. So it's just gonna take some time for this to filter out, and I won't be surprised if we actually won't see this for a long, long time. But that's fine. And it's only 50% since this isn't really the best kind of system right now. Actually, never mind. We don't even have this connected, so that's not good. We'll focus on that. And then hopefully once that's connected, it's going to go out pretty much 100% is what I'm hoping for, and then it will just push out a little faster. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. We're trying to save our food supply here, and it's going pretty well. So we're sticking around 600, and I'm going to try to expand on my carrot farm. So we have these guys here, and it seems like we need more beavers in there. So we're going to kind of just take them away, put them in different jobs, and it seems like we need to prioritize this. There we go. Prioritize that and that, and then we should be good. Now, I did take away from here already, but we're also going to try to work on a power system or power grid to keep this moving, and I don't think I need to keep this running, so I'm going to turn that off so we can get some jobs elsewhere. Now, think we're good. Yeah, we're somewhat good. We just have a bunch of trees. Oh, that's why. I was looking at it being like, did I forget to cut them? And yeah, I did, so that's kind of weird. So I kind of want to get rid of all this. Since we do have a bunch of wood and we have a bunch of trees back over here, it wouldn't be bad to cut this, but I think it wouldn't be a bad, I don't know. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't. So I think what we're going to do is hold off for now. We're building this up, which is always good. And our power is still 100%, so maybe I shouldn't take away yet. I don't want to cut this either. I'm like kind of scared to do so. So we're going to let them do their thing for a while, let them build. And yeah, because we have, oh, this is now connected. So that means we're starting to get a, yeah, okay, so that's 100%. So, and we are starting to see some blue water, which is always good to see. Well, so they just finished some explosives and I accidentally killed them, and that was an achievement. So, yeah, I kind of got ahead of myself and I accidentally just killed, I think, 3 or 4 beavers. Well, I think that was the first time that has ever happened to me. So, yippee. Oh, look at that. We finally have a blue lake here, which is always nice. I'm definitely going to kind of most likely cover that up eventually, but we are starting to see some progress over here on reclaiming the dirty water, and it actually looks pretty green over here. There's a lot of green over here now, so that's pretty nice. So I do want to start setting up this, and that is the zip line. So we'll get us down there faster, especially over here. If we want more iron, that is going to definitely be one of our main goals. So let's do that right now. So I think one right here might work. I'm going to try and add a connection here. All right, so I don't know what the max connection is, so we're gonna pause that. And I want to, well, actually no, that wouldn't be a bad spot, but let's raise it so we can get more there. And I don't know, so it is pretty high up, so could we do one here? That's the real question. And I'm just gonna be playing around here. Okay, so too far, so it's 30 meters, which isn't too bad. So we can definitely make this work. And, well, maybe we don't need to raise it. Let's do it like right about here. I think right here was good. What about here? Something like here would be good. Okay, yeah, that's good. So we'll do one there, and we'll do another one down here. And, well, do I want one right there, or do I want one right here? Because then if we do it over here and add another one over, or add like the endpoint here, we can actually do a lot. So we can actually maybe get some more food going over here, and then they just pretty much can just go back and forth from there. That'd be pretty nice. So maybe right about here. Let's see, add connection. Oh my god, it is perfect. It's 27. And then that means we can pretty much end our zip wire up over here. And then that should be good. Yes, that should be good. And then add connection. Boom. All right. So now we can get a lot. We can actually do a lot now, since travel time will be a lot shorter between point A and B. Now I could make districts, which I honestly don't like doing. It honestly just takes so much time. It's a hassle, and it's just meh, you know? To me, it's meh. And honestly, this I think is kind of fun. So let's do this and do that. And we're just going to clean up a little bit here, because it's just kind of an overall mess in this area. And we'll get to this point eventually again. But, oh, that's not good. We could block this off, but I think we're somewhat good, actually. We're going to try to blow this up so we can, you know, get some of that saved. And that might be a good idea. Would it be a good idea? No, we may as well wait. We got like 3 days. We should be fine. And we're making some good progress overall here. Alright, so we now have the zip station up and running. And are they going to use it? So far, there's nothing, which means we need to start something down here. So I think I'm going to do is start cutting down the trees, and maybe... yeah, there's like no chance of anything coming back. So it's like I was hoping to have natural trees come back, maybe for a screenshot. But I thought about drawing in some fake trees, but that'd be kind of funny. But I'm not gonna do that. So what we could do is start setting up possibly another iron network, or maybe even something else like a farm. So we could try to do more farms down over here, and that might be a good turnaround. So we'll have them try to cut down all this, and we'll start up a farm down here, and we're gonna make it sunflowers. Oh, they are using it. Oh, yes. Oh, and that was so quick too. So, oh my god, they're so fast on that thing. Okay, that is so good. Anyway, so let's see here. What am I gonna do? I think what I want to do is sunflowers. Yeah, we're gonna build a bunch of sunflower seeds and go from there. I think that'd be a nice little kind of switch up here since I never really work on that. And I think it would be a good idea to finally kind of get something going here. So we'll try to cut down these trees and be at least efficient in their use and try to set up some more farms down here too so we can just, keep things going. And just in case our food reserves for potatoes go out, which we are kind of relying on right now and allowing our carrots to build up, we can easily take advantage of that. Now, I'm starting to think of getting the dirt excavator, and I don't know where to put it fully. I'm thinking of on top of the hill. That'd be kind of fun to do. And what we can do with that is not much, since there's a bunch of stuff in the way. But we could honestly get up there and, do what we need to. And I think that's what I'm also going to do on the side. So we have a bunch of stuff going on right now, so I'm not going to really worry about it too much. And we'll try to make a way up there so we can start kind of our little dirt extraction. That'd be pretty fun since we have all the resources needed. Pretty well, most of it. And we have a bunch of wood as well, so that's also pretty good. But I think we are just going to demolish all the resources up here because we don't really need them. Honestly, we have so much. So we're going to try and delete all that and put our dirt excavator up there. Took me a second. And we just have so much going on. It's just a problem. All right, so let's blow up the water. This is, oh my god, looks really nice actually. And all the water's gone. That is going to be quite an issue, but we should get that back pretty quickly, thankfully. And we're gonna blow this up too. So other than that, we should be good on our water system here. And then if there's anything happening, well, that's going to suck for me. So we're going to try to work on this a little bit, but it seems like enough of this is cleared for us to start. So dirt extractor, and we're going to get that relatively up here. And I could make it tear down part of the mountain. I don't think that's a good idea, but it would be pretty funny. And just seeing a giant hole on the side of the mountain here. I kind of want to do that, but I kind of don't want to do that at the same time, so I'm not going to do that. Let's do it. We can do something like this. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm messing up. That's going to get a bunch of that. Screw it, we'll put it there. And actually, do I want to put it there? How much power does this need? 200. We're not going to put it here. We're going to put it somewhere else. And I'm thinking, where is it? I want to put it by like the factory. Does that need? No, I don't think it needs power, does it? Let's see here. Metal. It does not. Okay, so we don't need that, but I do want to put it nearby something that does need power. Or, well, we could just utilize this actually. So not there. So I made all that attempt to get up over here for no reason. And let's put it up over here. So it's going to be out of the way, which is pretty nice. And wrong thing. Whoops. And right about here, landscaping. And we can put it literally right next to it. And I think that would be good. It would be. So let's do that. Get our power system up here. And that would allow it to go on literally forever. And it is going to be kind of close by to this, so it should work out. Yeah, it should work out. And then what we can do is put like a storage system by like this, or over here actually looks a little better, and we can put it dirt. So dirt, and then let's get that dirt. Boom, perfect. So now we can start setting up a dirt system automatically, and we can also start setting up our metal since I accidentally got it, so we might as well use it. All right, so we have this pretty much almost finished. We're just waiting on that. We're gonna cap this off. I did blow this open so we can start filling this in, and I do have a project to block off these. I just haven't gotten this one yet, and same with this one. So other than that, we should be good when it comes to turning out more green on this map, which would be really nice. And I am going to also start working on kind of underground locations so we can kind of expand our green area so it looks a little bit more noticeable from, orbit view. And that's going to be a plan. So we're also working on this as well, which I should maybe not really focus on because there's like a million other things I would rather do right now. So we're going to try to focus on this, kind of get a nice little outline underground. and get that going. So that should be good whenever we get to that point. And yeah, we should get to that point eventually, but same with under here. I want to kind of get like a little bit more water reserves underground and maybe even get it spread out through here. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get something going. I also need to block this off. That'd be pretty good, but there's a bunch of things we need to do still, so yeah, we're having a great old time with this. Now, it's starting to seem like our project is starting to make some, progress. So we've fully blocked this off, which is good, and we're starting to see the bad water kind of disperse, and we're starting to see some good water come in, which is always great. So yeah, we're starting to see some greenery kind of popping up here. Now we do have this, and we are working towards getting rid of that, so we need to slowly but surely kind of get over there. I'm going to slowly destroy this, and of course we got our fluid pump over here coming in and kind of pushing out the bad water, which we have some bad water kind of sticking around here. So over time it will go away, but we have to work on it. So with that being said, this looks a lot better. I do want to kind of maybe make a dam here, but I'm not sure yet. We are going to try to work on that. I did have to cut this off because they were going up through here to here. So we're going to kind of work on that again because I did have to kind of blow it up so we don't have that much bad water infection. So we're going to try to focus on this again and try to get them more focused on certain projects so we don't get out of control. This might be, if I remember right, this might be normal water, if I remember right, or it's bad water, and then I might have to get rid of that completely. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, but it looks like the greenery is coming back a good bit now. We're actually seeing a lot of it too, which is great, but there's always more to do. Man, we have some progress done, and it's been a while. So I added in another warehouse so we can get some more food close by, and we don't really have to have them run around and all that fun stuff. And we did expand the housing kind of on top too. I actually kind of like this design. I like that. And then as you can see, we got a little bit more there, and we are just kind of doing some small projects here and there as well. So we're actually going to pause this completely since we don't really need metal right now, so I'm not going to really focus on it, but we do have a bunch of storage ready to go whenever we get that done. So yeah, that's kind of fun. And we finished this. Now this took so long since it's literally on the other side of the map, and yeah, I love my little zipline railway, whatever you want to call it, because we pretty much dominated this scene over here. We're currently working on this scene over here, and that is pretty much the dam, and we can do this because, well, we want to raise the water level. Now some parts are going to be a little dangerous, so I wanted to raise the water level up a good bit over here so we can possibly get something going on over there and just have like a natural flowing state, but that might not be a good idea, and I just instead gonna keep the water tanks here, so whenever we get these done we'll get them done, but they're mainly focusing on this. Now I could just go right across. That might be a little easier, yeah, that might be, but then I have to figure out this system here. Oh man, it's just so nah, I don't like it. Well, actually, wait a minute. Maybe, what if we just blow through the ground? What if we just decide, watch this, and we just blow a straight path over? That might work instead. I didn't even see them do that. They were building this up the entire time. I didn't even know, and that's pretty interesting, but we're gonna try to start working on some other projects. So we are still working on this over here, but instead of blowing through the ground, which I was like, can we build over this? And we can. I didn't actually know that. We are quite faster at doing this now, so I do have them on a 24-hour work schedule until this is done. Honestly, this would have been better over there, maybe. Yeah, I would have, but it seems like they did focus on a lot of projects around us, which is pretty nice. So I do like that. Now I do want to expand the potato farm because they're going crazy over here and they're still on top of everything, so I want them to work on that a little bit more. Can we? Okay, so that was good, and then we can get some more potatoes over here, and that should be fine, right? Yep, perfect. So yeah, they're still on top of everything, but I think we need to increase our overall potato production. So yeah, that's great. and hopefully we can actually block up the water down here. I do plan on making multiple dams so we can kind of have a bunch of water reserves, and then maybe even a bunch of what was it, large water pumps, so we don't really have to worry about water ever again. And we can easily do that by setting up a bunch of collectors and all that, because we do have a bunch of haulers, so I'm pretty happy with that kind of put. So we're going to do that really quick, and I think what I want to do is definitely put a bunch of water extractors up over this way, but we're going to try to raise the land up a good bit so we can actually store a bunch down in this area. So what I'm going to do is just pretty much do the basic this, and that should be good enough. And then we're going to do the same thing and over here, just going to raise the ground up one so it's pretty much on level with this, and we don't have to worry about it seeping over into different areas. That Never mind on that. I don't know. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it as it is because I just want to focus on that. And yeah, since the drought's coming up, this is kind of good that they're working on this on the side. And food-wise, we're still holding pretty strong, especially with our increased population. So I feel pretty good. Okay, I think we're almost done. We are currently out of a drought. Never mind. I'll stop talking. And we are finally done with this. So we're going to raise. I already have this raised, so that's good. We are currently blocking this off, so I'm pretty happy with that. We might not get any water in there. I might do kind of like a separate little stream or something over that way. But we are going to try to start blocking this off next, almost immediately. So then we don't have to really worry about much. So that's kind of my plan. It seems like the water is starting to fill up again, which is good, and I'm starting my project up over here to dam up the water up over this way. So what are we going to do next? So my next goal is to block this off and start releasing water from up here, so it starts going down up over here and, you know, kind of goes out this way, so we can start seeing a little bit more green. Yeah. I can't really do much over here, sadly, since it's kind of terrible overall. So the best I can do is fill it up a little bit and then go from there. And I could blow everything up and lower it so it looks a little better, but we can't really do that. It's not going to really work out as planned. So my goal is this over here, block this up, kind of like right over here. Yeah, there it is, right over here. And then that would kind of contain the bad water, and then we'll start filling in the land. I also have a zipline to kind of increase our transportation from point A to point B, and whenever they get to that point, that would be pretty nice. They just have to build this right here, and then they can easily zip on over. So are they done with that? They are not done with that yet, but it's starting to look a little bit better, so that's a good start. Alright, so huzzah, we were actually able to block off all the sewage seeps or whatever it is, and that is good. And we have about 3 days left of the bad water. So we're currently building up a mini dam over here so we can at least store something here. It wouldn't be too bad. And after that's done, we're going to start focusing on this up here. Even though I do have this plan down here for now as well, it's not going to really be the main focus. How? Oh, I see. Yeah, let's stop that really quick. I totally forgot about that. And I feel like I should just blow it up. But then again, I mean, we keep it contained, so I think we're fine. Never mind. But I'm going to try to keep this all green down here. I thought about blowing this up and letting it go, but too much work, too much stuff to think on. And anyway, that's good water holding right here, so I should maybe do something with that down the road. And I could, maybe, but yeah, I think I want to start this instead. But then I don't know, because it is closer by, so it wouldn't be too bad. What are they doing? Oh, they're starting this project now. Okay, are they done? Oh, they are done. Wait, no, what? No, they're not. They're not done with that, you liars. Get that working on. And we'll actually start this over here, because why not? You know, it's an easy project. It can be done pretty quickly. And then once we're done with that, we can start focusing on these. I think, yeah, okay, you can reach that. Gotta make sure on that one, because it took me a second to think about it. So we got that, we got this. We can start focusing on this. Some easy kind of focusing here, because they're somewhat accessible. And then we can focus on this one too. And that should be good for now, because then we need to make this bridge to get over there. And honestly, I think it would be better if we just focus on this before that too. So we'll do that and we'll focus on this bridge and we'll have them just work on that over time. Ooh, we got another drought going on, which is good. And we are currently trying to be a little bit more efficient here. So I do have to block this off. I don't have to do it like this completely, but I'm just going to do it this way because why not? And we are starting to get some things moving. So we're going to try to block this off completely, and we'll make this kind of more of an effort just in case bad water shows up. And I think there's some beavers getting sick because of this. So we'll try to work on that a little bit more. And then we also have, you know, them taking this, putting it over here, and there's not really much. I did redirect the pylons, which I like that. You can kind of turn it on and off, switch them up and all that. So I am a fan of that. That's really nice, but pretty good overall down here. I am starting to build up a little bit more of a storage down here for water, which is, yeah, we kind of lost that. Oh well, but I'm still just trying to kind of clog up water here so we can try our best to introduce green in some of these places. It's going to be a little difficult. I'm also trying to block this up, so I think we can do that. Maybe not, actually. I should have maybe put it like a little pathway down over here instead. That might have been a little better. So we're going to try to do that instead, and hopefully that works out. I'm still going to keep that just in case we do need to use it eventually. But this looks nice, and it wasn't even fully up yet, so we haven't seen its potential, and we won't for about 5 days. But hopefully once we get this done, we can start working on this, and it should go by a little quicker. Okay, so water is coming back, and we're gonna blow this up since they just finished that, and the water is now gonna start flowing, and we might start seeing some more green in this location, which is perfect. And it should rise up a good bit eventually, but I'm gonna be curious on how this turns out, since it's gonna be kind of a good while before we start seeing the water flow back fully. But I have confidence. So let me actually turn this back on since we're gonna need to. And I'm still trying to expand the water underneath here. It's not going too well, but at least we're doing it, and at least something's happening. So yay. Let's see here. So the water's coming back. This is now done, so we're going to see a water increase down there, and this has not started yet. Should be a oh, I messed up. I messed up again. All right. You're okay for the third time. That should be it. And I do want to blow this up so we can get water in here, so that'd be pretty nice. And we do have that there, so we're going to kind of lower that so we can get the water. And hopefully they can get this done so we can blow it up, and then I can put a bridge over on top, so then we can kind of make it so they can travel and get all the pine, which is nice. We can actually see the trees grow back. I'm pretty happy with that. And now that this is done, we're going to start working on the dam over here, and hopefully see a overall change. It seems like water's seeping back up over here pretty well, which is good. I could blow that up, but that might be a bad idea, so I'm not going to do that. But yep, back to work we go. Now, I'm going to use this time to kind of test something out. So, the water pressure here is limited to about, I'm going to say about like 70%. So, what if we, what if we change that? Like, what if we changed it as in, like, we build a gauge, so we do the like, kind of like the water push thing. Let me see if I can just even set this up first, especially over here. Maybe not over there. Maybe over here would work. I don't know. I think this would be a good place to do it. So, of course, we're going to block this off, right? We're going to block it off. And would this work? So, if we... Okay, so that wouldn't work. So, what if we raise it? And we raise it by, let's say 3. Yeah, let's do 3. And do something like this. So, yeah. Okay, this is kind of a bad time for that. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work because it wouldn't even rise that far. I would have to do something like this. So we would have to have an opening here, and then because I want to kind of do like a kind of infinite loop kind of thing. So then it's like, okay, well, it's raised, it's being pushed up, and so on, but could we raise it even more? And I'm kind of like planning it out here, but I feel like, okay, so we can kind of test it right here. So we'll test it like this. We'll bring it like here, and then we'll bring the fluid pump here. And then whenever we can, build it up a little bit more. But we're going to test it, and we're going to see if we can raise it up that much. Actually, no. I want to raise it up even farther, because I want it to be a little bit bigger so it can kind of be, like, up to here. So we're going to have to raise it up a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is try to see if it like goes in one out the other, and it kind of bypasses that whole like single pressure thing, since it's going right back into itself. So I want to see if that works, and if not, then we can just block it off, blow up a little hole down here, and then it's pretty much just going to fill up on its own once we get that infinite power over here. So that's kind of my plan, and if that works, then I'm definitely going to use that in the future. But we have to wait and see if it works. So let's kind of get ourselves here, and like so, do that. And then of course I'm gonna have to build a cable down to here, which is going to be annoying and long. Okay, so it looks pretty good over here. I actually kind of like this. I should maybe kind of put land over here to kind of like, I don't know, make it look a little better over here. Maybe, I don't know, but looks pretty nice. So what I'm going to do is block this off up here and blow this up so we have more water connection down here, and we can actually utilize this stream a little bit better and increase the water flow. Since it's so much land and there's only one seep doing all this, we definitely need to work on it. So I'm going to be working on that. And then same with over here. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but we can kind of push for this a little bit more and see if we can get it done quickly. Do we even have enough metal, or are we out? That is the case then, so let's work on that right now then. So we're going to work on the metal supply since we're actually clean out. So hopefully they actually get working on that, and we are able to really push for it. So we're actually a good bit ways done with this already too, which is nice. And we'll start seeing some progress. I'm not going to blow this up until this is done, so we can have a full kind of like pressure over this way, and that'd be pretty nice. Now, I did think about flooding this. I really did, but I just don't want to be honest with you. It's, nah. I mean, I think we're supposed to. I don't know. It's like we can raise it up quite like 2 blocks, but then it's gonna like kind of overtake everything, so not the point. So we're gonna let this cook, and we're gonna see how this test works. Oh, and it's about to be finished. All right, perfect. And we have a drought coming up too. I'm just kind of slowly demolishing this hill because I feel like it. And now that you're out of the way, let's unleash the waters. And oh my god, this is actually looking really nice. And there we go. So now it's connected to the main stream, and we now have pretty much 2 fluids going into one area. So of course it might kind of fall back into here to kind of raise it up a bit, which is fine. I kind of expected that. And then once that is done, it should start kind of pushing back over this way, and we might have to, and I'm saying might have to, open up the gates a little bit more, but it's just kind of falling back here. And now that it's kind of equalized here, we can now start seeing some more water pressure over this way. I hope. I think we'll have to wait and see. But this is right before the drought, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I guess it does have to equal out over here since it did just move in there. And then once that's done, it should be good. And we're going to have to wait for this to completely finish before we can do anything else. But we should have our main focus on this now since, well, we're pretty much done with a lot of the things already, which is a good sign. So can't get over there, which means we're going to have to build up a way over this way so you can reach over here. And should be a little project, but too bad there's a drought, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. But that's fine. So as long as I can get this done, we should be good. And it's just at this point me playing with water, but there we go. Nice. So we're starting to see some water push out here, hopefully a little faster. And other than that, we're going to have to wait for this, because sadly this didn't work. But this little system right here should fix that problem, and we should get water down over this way eventually. Alright, and it seems like this is now working, so sadly the experiment failed, but oh well. We pretty much did our goal and trying to introduce water to pretty much the entire map, or most of the map, and this is kind of like our outcome here. Let me kind of press this. Look at that. Oh man, it was like pretty much only this spot, and then everything else was kind of barren. but I'm pretty happy with this map manipulation, and I'm also pretty happy with kind of my cover up here, so we can actually get some water underneath. So I might even do a gameplay, which I've seen before, where someone covered the whole map in green, and that might be my goal, but that's going to be a long time before I do anything like that, and this is starting to pop up now, so that's good. It most likely will stop at like up to here, but that's pretty good. So I did destroy a little bit more terrain, and it looks a little bit better, and I like that. So I think I'm going to end the video here, so have a good one, guys, and take care.